Let me start with something most people won't say out loud. If you rarely socialize, people usually assume one of two things. Either you're antisocial or something must be wrong. But from a psychological standpoint, that assumption is almost always incomplete. Rarely socializing isn't a personality flaw. It's usually a pattern. And patterns have reasons. One of the most common reasons is mental energy drain. Some people aren't shy. They're neurologically sensitive to stimulation. Crowds, small talk, constant conversation, all of it consumes cognitive energy faster for them than it does for others. It's not fear, it's overload. After social interaction, they don't feel fulfilled. They feel depleted. So they limit exposure, not because they dislike people, but because they protect their mental bandwidth. Another factor is a strong internal world. People who rarely socialize often think deeply. They reflect often. They analyze quietly. For them, silence isn't empty. It's productive. When your inner world feels rich, constant external input isn't necessary. You don't avoid people. You just don't depend on them for stimulation. There's also selective standards. Some individuals would rather have 2 meaningful conversations a year than 200 shallow ones. They aren't antisocial. They're anti-performative. Surface-level interaction feels exhausting when you value depth. So instead of forcing connection, they wait for alignment. From the outside, that can look like isolation. Internally, it's intentional. Past social burnout plays a role too. Repeated misunderstandings, exclusion, betrayal, or emotional overextension can teach the brain a simple rule. Limit exposure. The nervous system adapts. Distance starts to feel safer than constant evaluation. It's not weakness, it's learned efficiency. And then there's emotional independence. Some people are comfortable being alone, not lonely, just regulated. They don't require constant affirmation or group validation to feel stable. And when you don't need social reinforcement to feel secure, you naturally socialize less. Not because you can't, but because you don't have to. Here's the part most people miss. Rarely socializing only becomes a problem when it's driven by fear instead of preference. If you avoid people because you believe you're inadequate, that's anxiety. If you limit interaction because you genuinely value solitude, that's self-awareness. Those are two very different psychological states. The goal isn't to force yourself into constant social exposure. And it's not to justify permanent isolation either. The goal is alignment. If your solitude feels peaceful and chosen, you're functioning. If it feels heavy and restrictive, that's worth exploring. Because healthy social behavior isn't measured by quantity, it's measured by intention. And sometimes, rarely socializing isn't a flaw at all. It's simply a different way of regulating your world.